Hey, what's up, you guys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of the Creepy and Paranormal Show. I am your host, Shane Campbell, and today we are going to be diving into a true life story coming straight to you out of South Africa. So, you know the drill. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. In the heart of Johannesburg, a chilling tale unfolds as locals recount encounters with an elusive entity that lurks in the shadows. Known only as the Garden Man, the sinister force emerges when the sun sets, casting a pall of fear over the city. Listeners, brace yourselves for a gruesome journey into the night, where eyewitnesses describe a ghastly figure with eyes that pierce through the darkness, leaving an indelible mark on those unfortunate enough to cross its path. Stories abound of blood-curdling screams echoing through deserted alleys, signaling the malevolent presence sinister intentions. Rumors circulate of a series of unexplained disappearances, each victim succumbing to a grisly fate that defies rational explanation. Whispers in the city suggest that the Garden Man feeds on the fear it instills, growing stronger with each terrified soul that it claims. One harrowing account tells of a lone wanderer who, against all warnings, ventured into the heart of the entity's domain. As the night deepened, the air thickened with an oppressive malevolence, and the wanderer's flashlight flickered ominously. Suddenly, a guttural growl pierced the silence, and the darkness itself seemed to coil around them. Today's sponsor is called Invoice Cloud. Now, this is really awesome if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, or even a freelancer. You know how difficult it is to manage and then create those invoices for your customers. But with Invoice Cloud, you have everything you need to create simple, professional estimates on the fly. It's easy to use and understand, and getting rid of all the nonsense so you can have more time to do what matters most, which is to grow your business. Invoice Cloud allows you to add your company details, logo, customer information, as well as products, making it a breeze to send estimates to your clients anytime, anywhere. Now, if you want to start your free 7-day trial and get invoicing in just under 5 minutes, all you need to do is head over to invoicecloud.co.za and boom, you are sorted. That's invoicecloud.co.za. Everybody has their own morning routines, but on the top of my list is coffee. Strong, hot black coffee. I physically can't start the day without a cup. However, sometimes life gets in the way and you're forced to buy a cup of coffee while on the road. And if you're like me, you struggle to find one that tastes good and is affordable. Well, now there is a one-stop solution for you. Homeground Coffee. The name is brilliant and so is the service. Situated at Benoni Northern Sports Ground, it's a nice central point for your morning commute. And why not get a delicious muffin or pie to go along with it? Homeground Coffee is the perfect go-to, and I advise you strongly to give them a try. When you do, let them know that I sent you. Find them on Facebook at Homeground Coffee as well as Instagram. That's Homeground Coffee, HOMEGROUND. Reports detail the gruesome aftermath, a scene of unspeakable horror that investigators struggle to comprehend. It is said that the Garden Man leaves behind a chilling calling card, a symbol etched in blood, marking its territory as a warning to those who dare to explore the realm of shadows. As the city remains shrouded in fear, questions linger. Is the Garden Man a malevolent spirit, a vengeful force, was something far more sinister. Beware, dear listeners, for the night holds secret darker than the imagination can fathom, and the entity that prowls Johannesburg's nocturnal realm may be closer than you dare to believe. Now I have a story of the garden man that was told to me by a family who chose to remain anonymous, and for this story we shall call them the Johnsons. They have told me the story and I've rewritten it to basically outline a picture in your mind. So I hope you enjoy what I'm about to tell you, because once I heard it, it gave me absolute chills to know that this is going on in a town I currently live in, Benoni. In the quiet outskirts of Benoni, on the desolate plots that sprawl beyond the city limits, a family found themselves entwined in a nightmarish encounter with the infamous garden man. This is their chilling, first-hand account. The Johnsons, a seemingly ordinary family, had recently moved to a quaint farmhouse on the outskirts of Benoni, seeking solace in the peaceful embrace of rural life. Little did they know, the tranquility of their new home concealed the darkness that would soon envelop their lives. One moonless night, as the clock struck midnight, the Johnsons were jolted awake by an unworldly sound, a low, guttural growl that seemed to seep through the walls. Dismissing it initially as a product of wild imaginations, they returned to their uneasy slumber. But the nightmare had just begun. The following night, the family patriarch, Mark Johnson, awoke to a flickering light outside his bedroom window. Groggily, he peered into the inky darkness, squinting to discern the source of the disturbance. A pair of bloodshot eyes materialized, glowing in the shadows like malevolent orbs. Paralyzed by fear, Mark could only watch as the eyes drew nearer, piercing the veil of the night. Inexplicably, dread gripped the household as the sinister figure approached. Mark stumbled backward, desperately reaching for the light switch, but the room remained engulfed in an impenetrable darkness. The air grew thick with an oppressive malevolence, suffocating any rational thought. Suddenly, the figure emerged from the shadows, in a distinct silhouette with elongated limbs and an aura of palpable menace. It moved with an unnatural grace, its form undulating like a shadow cast by an unseen force. Mark, who was now gripped by terror, attempted to scream, but the sound caught in his throat. The garden man seemed to feed on the fear emanating from the Johnson household. The eyes locked onto Mark, and an disembodied voice whispered dreadful promises, sending shivers down his spine. The entity's presence warped reality, distorting the very fabric of the farmhouse. As quickly as it appeared, the garden man retreated into the darkness, leaving the Johnsons trembling in the aftermath of a nightmarish encounter. The family fled their once peaceful farmhouse, haunted by the memories of that fateful night, and forever changed by the malevolent force that lurked in the shadow of Benoni's desolate plots. The garden man had left its mark, a chilling reminder that some horrors are not easily escaped, even in the sanctuary of rural tranquility. Now, what really stands out to me with this story is that it sounds eerily similar to visions or pictures, I should say, of Slender Man. I know we've covered Slender Man before on the show, and while we might all joke and say it was just an internet sensation that went viral, this really does sound very similar to that. And knowing that it was an entire family that had witnessed this, and the father was brave enough to come forward and tell me about it, but obviously with the stigma related to seeing such a thing, quite honestly, I'm impressed that they chose to give me the story, albeit they had to stay anonymous. But it just makes you wonder how many more stories are out there of this. Yes, we're all told as children not to be afraid of the dark. But maybe there is something to it. Maybe there is something out there in the dark that lurks. Maybe the garden man, or whatever it is true. Maybe its eyes are locked on us every time we step out into the darkness, just waiting for that moment. If you have a story of experiencing something similar to what I've described or explained in this episode, please reach out to me. If you want to remain anonymous, that's perfectly fine as well. Quite frankly, if it was me, I'd more than likely stay anonymous as well. So there you have it, folks. There's the story of the garden man that was witnessed in Benoni, in this particular case, but has been documented throughout Johannesburg, and I'm sure through the rest of South Africa. So when you go to bed tonight and your room is rather dark, and normally I tell you to look under your bed, I urge you, pull your curtains aside, peer your head outside your window. Have a look into the darkness of your garden. Especially with load shedding that's going around, it will be very dark outside. And let me know what you see.